Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I'm going to be sharing some of the new products from the mini catalogue for January through April 2024, and then some of the celebration gifts that you can earn through purchasing. So I've decided to use one of the lovely papers that are in this catalogue. This one here called Flight and Airy, and this is the gorgeous paper. You can see it's kind of got birds on one side and sort of more generic patterns on the other. Really, really pretty. Very, very pretty. So this is an item that you can earn for free with a $50 US dollar order before shipping and tax. So some ideas of how you could choose some things to go into that order. So I am going to be sharing with you this very, very pretty decorated notebook. And so you can see I've used one of the papers that I got for free, and I'm going to be using the Notes of Nature stamp set, the perennial postage dies, and the iridescent foil gems. So those are new items that are available, and that purchase of those will certainly earn you this gorgeous paper. So let us make a start. So I've already done a little bit of cutting out here, and these dies are literally, as the name implies, giant sort of postage stamps. And so here we have the two large ones here, and then we've got sort of smaller ones that we can use for cutting out pictures and labels and things. And I'm going to be using this one as well, and I'm going to be sharing a little technique on how you can use this to make a longer label. So those are our pieces. So I just have an ordinary note pad. This measures 8 by 5, and you can see they're from a local office supply store. So we're going to pretty this up so it makes a really lovely gift. So I'm going to start with my base, or if you like, my cover. And so I'm going to need a piece that is 8 inches long to cover the front. Then the spine is 1/4 of an inch, and then I want about 1 inch at the back, which will cover this black binding completely and make it look a little prettier. So I'm using Balmy Blue. That's one of the colors that's in the paper, and I'm gonna make my first cut the width. So the width is 5 inches, and I'm going to just make it just a tiny bit wider than the pad. And so I'm going to make it 5 1/16, like that. And so that will just give me a tiny little margin either side of my pad. Now, before I cut the length, I am going to put in my score lines. And so I said I wanted 1 inch for the back to cover the black binding. And then I want another 1/4 of an inch for the spine. So I've put one score at 1 inch and another score at 1 1/4 inches. And if I put my folds in, and then with my bone folder, put these other folds in like that. Now I find that if I try to measure the whole length of the piece of card to do my cutting, sometimes I'm just a fraction out. So this is what I'm going to do. I know I need 8 inches. Okay, so that just gives me a tiny little lip at the end, so it's easy to lift the cover off. If you look at this one, you see I've got a tiny little lip here, and it means that when I go to open, I'm not taking all the pages, I'm just taking the cover up. So I need that to be 8 inches. So I'm going to lay it down so my score line, my second score line from the top, is going to be on 8 inches. There we go. And we're going to cut that bit, and then I'm just going to line that up, and you should be able to see that I've just got that little lip just there. Okay. Now, my decorative paper was a piece cut 4 by 5, so I can actually get 6 out of a sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And then this layer is Misty Moonlight, and the piece I cut it from was like a 1/4 sheet, so it was like 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I can just go ahead and get that attached. Now if you follow my videos, you'll know, oh, that's a pretty side. Oh, wished I'd used that now. Anyway, never mind. If you follow my videos, you know that I do like to use liquid adhesive, but you could go ahead and use any adhesive that you prefer. So I've just got that little piece down there. Now, I wanted to make lots of luxury on this particular notepad. So I've got some of this balmy blue and white, and it's variegated ribbon, and it ties the most stunning bows. So I think we'll need to tie a bow. Did I tie a bow? Oh, I did. I tied a bow. So here's a gorgeous bow. So that's our bow. And I'm just going to add some ribbon around this to make it look like I have wrapped my ribbon around and then tied it in the most gorgeous, luscious bow on the front. But of course, this is a technique I've used an awful lot in my videos. I have a video on one of my mastering ribbon series that you make the ribbon go all the way, look as though it's gone all the way round, and actually I'm probably saving a few inches there. The next thing I want to do is to tie like an extra piece of ribbon, because as I said, I want this bow to look really luscious. And so I'm going to slide this underneath, fold it in half and slide it underneath. And then I'm going to put the 2 tails through the loop here, like this. And then just pop my fingers either side of the knot, hold that ribbon down, and then just gently pull this down like that. So, and then to make sure everything stays exactly where I want it to be, I'm going to fix it down with glue dots. So I'm going to pop a glue dot underneath the knot like that, and another one a little bit further up just to keep everything nice and stable like that. And then with my bow, I'm going to pop my bow so it sits just above that knot. And this is how I've got a lovely luscious bow. So my colours, basically I chose my colours from the paper. And I think I've shared this with you before. But if you look on the back of your paper pack, it will give you exactly the colours that have been used. And then you can use those to guide you in your colour choices. And I could have taken, this looks like, oh, what have I got there? Flirty Flamingo. There's I think that's like garden green in there as well. So again with my glue dots, because I want to make sure that that bow sits exactly how I want it to be. And then I'm going to bring those down and fix those as well. So that bow is not going anywhere, or at least it's not going anywhere fast. I think we've got a good old fix on that. Right. Now these other pieces, this other piece here, I am going to wait until I've finished my pad before I trim those off. Okay, so there's our front panel. Now we're going to move back to our cover, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and I've chosen the, oh, not that one. What did I do with my stamp set that I was going to use? Disappeared. Anyway, I'm going to do some tone-on-tone stamping, and I chose this pretty little sort of, I don't know, stem, leafy stem shape. And I'm just going to go around the edges because my pretty center panel is going to fill the middle. And you can see with like this tone on tone, it gives you a very subtle and gentle impression that is just giving the paper something else to decorate it with. And I'm going to need to put a couple of extra ones like this just to make sure that there's no blank spaces underneath. So that's my piece there. Now the next thing I'm going to do with my little pad is I'm going to put a nice pretty strip of paper across the top here so that that black has all gone. So I have a strip here that's 1 inch wide, and I'm going to use some tear and tape to attach it. Got my, like that. And this is where the next piece of tape I'm going to put down is a weeny bit fiddly, because I'm going to put it on the spine at the top of the pad. And you can see it's easy enough to do, it's just a wincy bit fiddly. Now I need some scissors to just trim that off like that and smooth everything down. So I'm going to pop this backing off, And I'm going to line this up so that that cut edge is as level as I can make it with that black binding there, like that. And then we're just going to trim that off like that. So again, I didn't cut it beforehand, other than like the width, the 1-inch strip, because again, I wanted to make sure that it was exactly the right length. So I've just scored that where the edge of the pad meets the paper, and we're going to just take this piece off here like that, and we're going to use the bone folder to pick that up and smoosh it onto the tape, and then just gently, if there's any bits over the top, like that. There. So that gives us a very pretty top to our paper, doesn't it? Oh, I've got a hair there. All right, then we have our backing and some more tear and tape. I'm going to put it as close to the top and as close to the spine as I can. And then I'm going to line everything up. So I'm going to push the edge of the pad up against that first crease, like that. Make sure everything is nice and firm. I've got a tiny whisper of blue showing here and a tiny whisper of blue showing here. I'm not going to move it to show you close up because I'm afeared that I won't get it lined up again quite so well. So let's take the backing off. There we go. And then I'm going to bring this over and down and give it a good press. And take my bone folder, and there you can see I've got my tiny little margin either side, and then this little piece here that is there to pick up my pad. All right, so that's how we bring the pad together. So this is our front piece. So we're going to put plenty of dimensionals. I've got some scraps here that we're going to finish up because we don't like to waste the edges. So that's that done. And I think I've got another one here. So let's pop those down. And I still need some more. I'm going to put plenty on because, like with my lovely fancy bow, I don't want to have this falling off of the front. Now I'm going to place this a little toward the top of the pad, so it will give me a room to put in my little greeting. And so we're going to pop that up there like that. Perfect. And then we're gonna have our greeting. So the greeting is from the Notes of Nature, as was the little flowery piece. And I chose just a little note to say hello because I thought, well, that's just perfect for a notepad because that's what it is. However, when I was looking at the dies, because I obviously wanted to use the dies again, there was nothing that was long enough. So I came up with this idea to cut a longer label. So I've got my little cut and emboss machine out, and I'm just going to use the number 1 plate. I'm going to put down one number 2 plate, and I've got a strip of white card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it, the die on my white card, but I don't want it to be cut all the way through on the first pass. So I'm going to slowly push this in like that. And I'm going to position my plate, top plate, so that it is a little bit shy of the end of the cutting of the die. So it won't cut the very end of the label. So let's just, oh, it's moving on me. Come on, through you go. Okay, doesn't like that. So let's just need for it to bite. There, oh no, it's not. Okay, let's come back again and start again. Right, so we're just going to pop that in, as I say, so that it bites. Well, it worked when I did my sample, and it started to work here, but it's not quite biting. So let's see if I can do it the other way around. There. Now, please work, because it worked earlier. Okay, well, this is not what this worked beautifully earlier. Hold on, let's go and get another piece of paper. Right. Right. We're going to do it the other way round. I'm going to position my paper. Everything's already in there, and I should have done that before, shouldn't I? Right, so note to self. Right, so now you can see I have got my piece here that is cut on one end and not on the other. And my greeting, okay, needs to come out to roughly there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop my die back on top so that the cut end will lay on top of the die, and I'm going to flip it over now, and I'm going to make sure that the little bits of the postage stamp are actually in the little grooves. Okay, like that. I know why it's not behaving, because it's not in the right place there. Okay, so we're going to line up the little grooves. If you can see the little sort of dots or pieces that are on the like the stamp. Okay, so that's there. We're gonna then pop it back into the die. We're gonna do the same as I did before. I'm gonna push it in so that that top plate is well in and we're not fighting to get it in. And then hopefully everything is perfectly cut. There we go. So there we have a piece that is about a ½ an inch longer than the other. Not as delicate and deft as I'd hoped, but nonetheless, we've got that. You've got the idea. So we're just gonna stamp our greeting. Hopefully, I'm gonna get it in the right place. Oh, not bad. Not bad. And I'm just going to use liquid. I'm not going to use dimensionals. I'm just going to use a little liquid to attach this to the down here. So now that I've got my greeting on, I know how far to trim my piece of ribbon. So there we go, like that. And then, as I said, I'm going to use one of the new embellishments, which I know I had here because I showed them to you. Let's put my dies back so that I don't lose those. There they are. So here are the beautiful iridescent foil gems. It's got a very delicate, sparkle. And I'm just going to pop one in the middle here of my super magnificent bow, and I'm pressing really firmly, and that will stick quite well to that ribbon. And then I'm just going to put a couple more here just to get some bling in. As you know, I do like my bling. And there we are, a really pretty notepad. Make a lovely gift, I'm sure, if you could bear to give it away. And as I said, we've used some of the new products from the mini catalogue, and we've used one of the free products from Sale-a-bration that you can earn when you buy these items. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed me sharing this with you today. If you have, perhaps you'll give me a thumbs up. Any comments you could put below. The measurements I will put in my blog, and there will be a link below here as well, and it will take you to that blog post where you'll be able to get the various measurements, or the recipe as I like to call it. And if you go ahead, share my video, that would please me very, very much. So I'm going to say bye-bye for now, and thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.